Getting commitment from a man is not hard once you understand the 3 levels of commitment. And in this video today, that's exactly what we're going to be covering based on my 15 years of experience coaching women on divine feminine energy in different areas of their lives, and also using these principles myself to manifest my husband within 4 months. Within 90 days of my husband and I dating, he was already flying 12 hours to go meet my entire family. We were engaged not long after that, and we were married not long after that, because the truth is that it does not take men forever or years and years and years to determine whether or not they want to commit to you. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Welcome to this channel. My name is Amanda, and what we cover on this channel is we cover how to manifest what you want in life without all the extra stress, chaos, and drama that most people are accustomed to. Lately, we've been talking a lot about relationship dynamics, divine feminine energy, what are healthy relationship dynamics, communication styles, all those kinds of things. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single video that we have coming out on this channel. We currently have about 3 a week coming out on this channel on all these different subjects. And as always, I always have extra resources for you guys, for those of you who want to go deeper. So for those of you who might be newer to this channel, I would recommend starting with the free Enhance Your Feminine Energy Guide, which you can download below. And then for those of you who want to go deeper on this specific topic today in terms of commitment, this is something that I cover in my High Value Woman Transformation program, which is only $97, and I will leave the link for that below as well. You go through about a 5 to 6 week transformation on how to become a high value woman from the inside out, because that is what triggers commitment from healthy masculine men. So let's get into it. Let's talk about these 3 levels of divine feminine energy and how they lead to commitment from healthy masculine men. If you guys saw my last video where I broke down the whole Sadia Khan controversy, I went a little bit into this, but today we're going to go deeper. And of course, I go much deeper into that course, which you can get for $97 below. So level 1 is what I call attraction without commitment. And this is where a lot of women find themselves these days. So you might be going out on dates and men might be noticing you, but they don't stay. So you might notice that you're like attracting the guy, but he's not staying. Or if he does stay, he doesn't give you any level of commitment. So you might be hearing things like, oh, let's just not put a label on this. Let's just have fun. Or a lot of women who also get stuck here have been with a guy for years and years and years and years and years, and they still don't have any level of commitment. Those are the ones who reach out to me and they're like, hey, I've been with this guy for like 6 years. Do you think he's ever going to talk about marriage? Or how do I get him to see that I'm the woman he should marry? Like a lot of women will get stuck here as well. Or another way in which this might show up is you become intimate with a man and then he just kind of disappears. Or another way in which this shows up is he breadcrumbs you, or he ghosts you, or he doesn't really pursue you. He doesn't really take on that masculine role of pursuing. So men are noticing you because men are physical, and men can easily go have sex with people that they're not actually emotionally bonded to, but that doesn't mean that they're actually going to stick around or even be in love with you. It takes a man an average of like 3 months to know whether or not you are someone that he wants to commit to, and there's certain things that you got to do at each level. So if you're getting stuck here at level 1, sometimes what's going on here is the woman herself is just way too masculine in the way that she is behaving, right? So for example, she might be the one planning all the dates. She might be the one pursuing. A lot of times women will do a lot of these huge mistakes that actually kill attraction, but they're not doing it because they're trying to like destroy their relationships. They just don't understand how the psychology of men actually works. So for example, the nice girl will fall into this category. The one who tries to prove herself will fall into this category, or the one who's too available usually falls into this category, because in becoming very available, then she thinks like, oh, I have to be available. Otherwise, if I'm not available, he's going to go find someone else, not realizing that When you're not that available is when you create a gap between the two of you, and that's when he starts longing for you and thinking about you and wondering what you're up to, and he's going to be more attracted to you. It's actually the exact opposite. But women who get stuck at level 1, they don't know these things about men. The other thing that happens at level 1 is that, let's say a woman is finding these types of situations in her life, then what might end up happening is she starts Googling online, right, about how to date men and all that kind of stuff, and she falls into perhaps some of the pink pill content. There's red pill, there's pink pill, I just heard about clear pill, so many pills going around these days. But a lot of times that falls into the realm of manipulation, or they're only focusing on external looks or your voice tone or flirting. I was speaking with a woman a few months ago that she said she was working on her voice tone and how to speak more softly and those kinds of things. So there is a focus on the external a lot of time when you're getting stuck at level 1. In terms of your looks, or maybe I don't look a certain way, or maybe I need to do my hair like this, or maybe I need to lose weight. So there's a lot of that conversation that goes on at level 1. And the other thing that happens in level 1, which I kind of alluded to already, is that her energy feels very performance-based, and it's inconsistent, right? So it's this proving energy of like, look how great I am. Or another time, the way that this comes out is the cool girl. So you try and be like really laid back and cool, right? But really you're a mess. Which brings me to the next point of level 1, is that internally you're a mess. For most women, what that looks like is an anxious attachment style. Those of you who are into the attachment styles, really recommend diving into those. I can do other videos on that, but for a lot of women, they fall into that anxious attachment style where they're constantly in this proving energy, and they will get thrown off by stress. So for example, we saw this with Sadia Khan. I said Sadia Khan is getting stuck here, and now it's all really coming out where she's focused on all the external stuff, but internally her energy is performance-based, it's inconsistent, and it's obviously very easily thrown off by stress. So if you're a woman who's getting stuck here, either healthy men, to be honest, healthy men probably don't even see you if you are getting stuck at this level, because healthy women don't behave in this way. Healthy women with a high value mindset, which we're going to go into these levels and what that looks like once a man is becoming committed, they don't behave in this way. They've already worked through a lot of these things, and they've moved up on these levels of being a high value woman, and in doing so, the men also move up in the levels of commitment. But yes, most women are stuck here because they do not understand the psychology of men. They don't understand polarity. A lot of times they're well-meaning. They don't realize that they're doing anything wrong. They feel like they're being a good person. That happens, and at the absolute worst, they're like manipulative and going off on people and all that kind of stuff. So that's level 1, and level 1 does not get commitment from a man, right? Level 1 attracts unhealthy feminized men, which I've done a lot of videos of. And if a healthy man does come around by any chance, like, she sabotages it. That's what the level 1 woman does, which means you're going to get a level 1 level of commitment, which is attraction without commitment. Now let's move on to level 2. So a level 2 woman, as I mentioned in the last video, is already starting to focus on emotional safety and nervous system regulation. And what happens is that her external world starts to change as a result of it. So she starts moving from more of an anxious attachment style to more of a secure attachment style, right? And when you start moving into more of a secure attachment style, then your emotions don't get the best of you anymore. The anxiety doesn't get the best of you anymore. You've started to work through a lot of those core wounds. There's actually 5 core wounds that drive people crazy in relationships. And again, in that High Value Woman Transformation Program, which you can get below, I go deeper into those 5 core wounds because I don't have time to do it in this video today, but you can find it there because there's 5 of them. And those 5 core wounds hormones are not necessarily running the show anymore. So you've learned to identify what your core wounds are, you've identified what your triggers are, and you're starting to become a high value woman from the inside out. And when you start becoming a high value woman from the inside out, you're less triggered, you're more present, your energy is automatically softer, you're breathing better, right? And you don't fly off the handle as much because your anxiety isn't what's taking over. In addition to that, what I have found, particularly with women that I coach privately, is that one of three things starts to happen at this level. So if a woman comes to me and she wasn't dating at all, right? And if she was dating, perhaps it was a little bit of dating, but the men were not healthy men. Sometimes what happens here is those unhealthy few men that she was dealing with before now try to get her attention. Right? It's almost like a little test from the ego. So that's one thing that can happen. The second way I've seen this happen is, let's say a woman comes to me and she's been dating like crazy, and she's got a bench, right? Part of what might happen here, usually, is that the toxic men start to totally fall away. And sometimes a woman gets very nervous when this starts to happen because she's like, oh my God, I was talking to 10 guys and now I'm like down to 2. Well, girl, be happy that you're down to 2 because those other 8 probably weren't that into you to begin with. So that's a thing that can happen here. Or when women start going back into the dating pool after having not been in it for a while, they might compare it to when they were a level 1 woman, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, I was getting like 30 responses and all that kind of stuff, and now you're getting less responses from men. Again, consider yourself lucky, especially if you're on dating apps, because dating apps are probably one of the worst places to go find a mate, because it's a lot of people with insecure attachment styles that are hanging out on dating apps, and quite frankly, there's also a lot of prostitution on dating apps and all kinds of crazy mess. If you really want to go find a healthy man, the best way to do it is actually through your social networks, through your family networks, perhaps through your professional networks. That's actually been statistically proven to be one of the best ways to find long-term partnership, not these apps. So for those of you who were on the apps and you were getting a ton of responses from these guys, when you start moving into this level 2, you might start to notice that those guys, you're not getting as many responses, right? And again, that's a good thing. The other thing that starts happening to the level 2 woman is that she starts becoming more discerning about who she is giving her time to. When you're a level 1 woman, basically what happens is you will give your time to anybody. You will give it to a broke man, you will give it to a man who treats you like crap, you will give it to a man who keeps kicking the can down the road and not wanting to commit to you. You will be working 2 jobs while he doesn't do that much at all. A lot of women who are level 1 actually end up attracting a lot of super feminized men. But when you start moving into level 2 and you start taking your time and your energy more seriously, and you start to realize, this is important because this is what my private clients start to realize, that your feminine energy is literally the most powerful thing you have, and quite possibly one of the most powerful energies in the entire planet, you start taking that a lot more seriously. And when you start taking that a lot more seriously, you start becoming a lot more discerning about the kind of men that you begin to entertain. Now, what happens when you're at level 2 in terms of commitment? I already gave some examples of how the toxic men start to fall off. Well, here's the other thing that starts to happen. The healthier men now have room to start coming in, and healthier men like it when women are discerning about who they give their time and energy to. Healthy men like it when a woman is really good at receiving, because when we get to level 2, the woman also starts becoming better at receiving. Common theme I've been seeing in the YouTube comments and also with private clients and students, and is that y'all really have a hard time receiving, okay? Like, the guilt is strong with you guys when it comes to receiving, and that's level 1 behavior. When we get to level 2, you're getting a lot better at it, and there's practices that I put a lot of my private clients through, and any training that I've done, you guys have heard me talk about receiving, because healthy men love to give to women, and this is when you start getting better at it, and you might start seeing men wanting to give to you more. They're moving toward you more, they're pursuing you more. Now, if you weren't, again, caveat, if you weren't dating that much to begin with and you were just dealing with a couple of dudes and they were toxic, they're going to try and get your attention one last time. Right? So just a caveat there. So that's level 2. Now when we get to level 3, now we get to devotion and provision, which is what most of you want. Now this is when a woman is very much in tune with her body. She's really good at receiving. She's really good at pleasure. She takes her time super seriously. She takes her energy very seriously. She's good at communicating in a feminine way, which is both soft but also has boundaries. And she's good at communicating those boundaries. So she's not going around yelling about her boundaries. That's level 1 women who go around doing that. But she's very good at communicating them in a feminine way. She knows how to speak to the king and a man. She's really learned how to master a lot of the feminine energy when it comes to dating and courtship and long-term partnership. And as a result of that, right, her nervous system is regulated, her presence is calm, she becomes very magnetic and attractive. And here's one of the most important things, she's anchored in her values. So let me give you an example of what a level 3 woman would do in dating. A level 3 woman would let a man know early on that she's interested in marriage and children. A level 1 woman would try and play it cool, not talk about it. Let's see where he takes it. Let me try and like perform. That's what a level 1 woman would do. A level 3 woman the guy would have known that she wants to get married and have kids by like date 3. A level 3 woman, if a guy doesn't reach up to her standards, she would let him go by date 3. A level 3 woman receives from the masculine energy all around her. A level 3 woman, again, knows how to communicate and knows how to regulate her nervous system. She knows how to express her boundaries gracefully, not defensively. And guess what starts to happen to the level 3 women? They naturally attract provider, protector men who want to commit. Because healthy men are going to want to give to you, and healthy men are going to want to protect you because they understand how precious you are as a woman. They understand your value as a woman. They understand the value of feminine energy, and they want to provide for that, and they want to protect that. So when you become a level 3 woman, commitment from a man becomes very easy. And I'm telling you, by day 90, they already know whether or not they want to commit to you, because on average, that's how long it takes for a man to figure it out. It does not take years for a man to figure out whether or not he wants to commit to a woman. So those are the 3 levels of the high value woman mindset in alignment with the 3 levels of commitment from men. It's the level 3 woman who gets married. It's the level 3 woman who gets engaged. It's the level 3 woman who gets commitment. It's the level 3 woman that men are not really going to try to play. And it's the level 3 woman that gets the provision and the protection, not just from the man who ends up being her husband, but from men all around her. I will give you an example. I was just talking to my husband about this last night, right? Where I was like, if you're not around for whatever reason, like you're in town or whatever, like because I'm in my feminine energy, people will just want to help me. They're just going to offer to help. I'm not even going to have to ask. And then he started laughing because he knows that's true. Everybody wants to help Amanda because Amanda, and everybody wants to give to Amanda because Amanda spends most of her time in her feminine energy. That is part of the power of you really understanding how this works, because your life is going to become easier as a result of it. You're going to get provision and protection and commitment from healthy men as a result of it. And in addition to that, you'll make more money to boot, because all these opportunities and all this provision is going to start coming your way. So those, like I said, 3 levels of a high value woman mindset in conjunction with the 3 levels of commitment that you're going to get from men as you start evolving more as a high value woman who really learns to live in her feminine energy. I go a lot deeper into this whole process in my high value woman transformation. You can find the link for that below. Those of you who want to work with me privately, you can apply for that below as well, because this is basically the process that I put women through first and foremost before you even go out into the dating pool, or before I have you expanding your circles or your social circles. This is the thing that you need to understand, and this is what you need to be anchored in, and it will change your entire life. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a like, share it with a sister. I know there's a lot of confusion out here about what's going on with men and women and dating, and it's just insanity out here. So make sure to share this with a woman who needs to hear it, because I know that most of you did not hear this. growing up, and it's really important that you understand it because it will drastically improve not just your relationships, but every area of your life. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you so much for giving me your time today, and I'll catch you on the next one.